Some time ago I was browsing YouTube, just scrolling through the homepage, when I came across a video called "Why Looking Poor is Important". The title caught my attention, so I watched it. It contained a couple of interesting ideas and I didn't regret watching it. A few days later YouTube recommended another video with almost the same title. The thumbnail featured a different person, but they were in the exact same pose against the same kind of blank wall. I decided to watch that one too, just in case it had some new ideas. It didn't. Over the next month I came across at least 10 more videos that looked exactly the same, with nearly identical titles and thumbnails. At one point I decided to type "look poor" into YouTube's search bar. It returned dozens of videos that were practically identical. Out of curiosity I even watched a few of them. Honestly, it changed the way I look at YouTube and content creators. Of course, I already knew that people copy each other's ideas, topics, titles and thumbnails, and that they follow trends, but I had no idea how extreme this had become by 2026. Original content still exists, of course, and there is still plenty of it, but a significant portion of YouTube now consists of channels whose entire strategy is to find the latest trend or viral idea and reproduce it on their own channel. Why do they do it? Because it works, it gets views. Is this kind of content actually useful for viewers? Of course not. Let's take the "look poor" trend as an example. Even if the original video contained a genuinely useful idea, it has now passed through dozens of creators who care about only one thing: getting as many views as possible. They are not interested in coming up with an original idea. They are not even interested in adding anything original to an existing one. They don't really care about the message, the substance, or the value of the content. And they certainly aren't trying to help the viewer. They just want views. I'm convinced that at least half of these videos are written with heavy use of AI, and some of them are probably generated almost entirely by AI. What's even more interesting is that these creators don't even bother finding the original source, the first person who came up with the idea. They simply copy whichever version they happen to see first, and that version is often copied from someone else who copied it from someone else, and so on. Imagine if Albert Einstein had published the special theory of relativity. Then 50 other scientists copied it and published slightly modified versions of the same paper. Would that benefit readers? Would it benefit humanity? Obviously not. This is exactly the kind of thing that makes the internet feel dead. And the funny part is that you don't even need AI to make it happen. Is this beneficial for the people making money from it, YouTube and the content creators themselves? Absolutely. It generates views, it generates revenue. That's why it's going to continue, and that's one of the reasons I've been watching less and less YouTube lately, especially these so-called professional creators. I don't find this kind of content useful and I simply don't need it. By the way, you might be wondering whether I actually started looking poor after watching a couple dozen of these videos on how to look poor. Yes, I did, as you can probably see. The thing is, it wasn't difficult for me, because I already looked poor. That's because I am poor. Maybe I should start making videos called "How to Look Poor" so I can finally start looking rich. Now that would actually be an original idea.